Hello, I'm Petrina Suggs. I'm a second-year English major, and I want to specialize in creative writing. I want to know about your book because I love writing, and I realized that you wrote an entire book. So.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What's that about?
So yeah, that was kind of a freaky experience in many ways. So I have a book, and I can make a plug for it. It's called Divine Science: Finding Reason at the Heart of Faith. And one of the interesting things about it, now, unlike you, I know you want to do creative fiction, creative writing, which I could never imagine doing, right? The thought of actually coming up with something like that's fiction, boggles my mind. What I was really interested in doing, I do a lot of public speaking on science, and two areas I do it are a lot of superheroes and pop culture, and I also do a lot of speaking on science and religion, science and faith. And I have to be honest, I was interested in getting paid just a little bit to speak, because you spend all this time speaking, it's a lot of my time, and particularly as I became a dean and a vice provost, I have less time. And I went around and I researched it, and this is one of those things I think is good for students to kind of understand. I mean, I've been doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm 19 years into my career as a physics professor. I've been a grad student, a postdoc, now I'm an administrator, and you want to do something new. And it's like, how do you figure out how to get into it? And of all things, I asked my daughter's dance teacher, the woman who manages the dance school, do you know any agents? I've been told if I want to speak, I need an agent. And maybe dance agents know people who are agents for speakers. I know that seems like a big leap, but I didn't know anything else to do. And unfortunately, or fortunately, she got me in touch not with an agent, but with a guy who runs a ghostwriting company, which not sure where that connection was. And I met with him. And he explained that if you want to be a public speaker, particularly one that gets a fee and stuff, you need a book. People only invite speakers who have books. And he said, well, what do you like to speak about? And I told him superheroes and science and religion and science. So fascinatingly enough, he said, well, you need to write the book God is the Ultimate Superhero, because that combines your religion, your science, and superheroes. And it's a cool title. So I set out to do that. And I did hire a guy who was somewhere between a ghostwriter and kind of a research assistant, who was awesome and really helped me because, again, not this being my full-time professional job, writing, as you know, is hard and takes a lot of work. And I didn't have the time to do the writing part, but I had but the book I had in my head, and I knew what I wanted it to be, and I could tell someone it, and they could write exactly what I wanted it to be. So it really is. That's one thing I learned about ghostwriting. It really is still your book and your writing. It's just someone's helping you with it. And that's something we often need in life, is help with the things we're trying to do. And that's how the whole thing emerged from that. And a little bit of life is luck and asking people for help. I was going to self-publish, and to do that, you have to get quotes for your book from people. So I sent out emails to friends and said, can you give me a quote? Here's 5 choices. This would be great if you said these things about my book. But if you want to say something else, that's okay. And one of my friends happens to, he's a writer who gets published a lot on religion and knows a publisher, and actually got my book in front of the publisher, and they agreed to publish it. And so the rest was kind of history. And I did learn, someone had warned me, publishers always change the title of books, and that's why it's not called God is the Ultimate Superhero, but called Divine Science: Finding Reason at the Heart of Faith, because in the end, the book I wrote really didn't match that title, so I'm still planning to maybe write a book that matches that title. But yeah, it was an interesting and fun experience, and really interesting to get into it from this odd direction of doing something completely different in my life. And it shows that combination of being alert for opportunities, asking lots of questions, putting yourself out there, but also getting a little bit lucky.